It is indeed an honor and a pleasure for me to participate in this prestigious event with so many distinguished guests. My special word of thanks to His Excellency Mr. Yasser Al Rumayyan, Chairman of the Future Investment Initiative Institute, for his gracious invitation. Your country and its people have been a constant source of energy for the world economy. And I too can feel the same energy radiate to me as I talk to you today. I bring to you greetings, salam from the people of India. Assalamu alaikum to the people of Saudi Arabia from the people of India. Government of India is grateful to Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for taking excellent care of the Indian community during the pandemic, be it in the form of making health facilities available to Indians suffering from COVID-19 or ensuring orderly repatriation of the people wanting to come back to India. Dear friends, today we are meeting in exceptional circumstances on the sidelines of a great battle, a battle that humankind is fighting valiantly, a war against a tiny pathogen which has taken away many of our honorable men and women, a war that has inflicted death and pain upon millions of families across the globe. For the first time in history, a health crisis has shut down the entire global economy, painfully demonstrating how inseparable healthcare and the economy have become. It is evident that the current crisis will inevitably reshape the world we knew. I would say that mankind will be able to recall only one event from 2020, and that shall be the story of the deadly and unknown virus that wreaked havoc across the globe, killing 1.5 million people and causing unprecedented economic devastation. And yet, history will also recall how science raced to the rescue of humans and how research and development with global collaboration became the focus of healthcare and survival. Today's topic of discussion, Health of Nations, a guide to investing in the next decade of global health, is therefore extremely relevant and important. Many questions come to our minds. The post-COVID world has thrown everything out of gear. The economy, the society, the politics, the technology, and the environment. As the fragile economies crumble under the impact of this deadly disease, the developed nations have been equally thrown into a recession. Will the world economies rebound? Will they absorb this storm? Will they enter an expanded recession? No one knows. There is a behavioral change in society. Some say families have been never so close. Yet others say that xenophobia is on the rise. It is going to be a game of survival of the fittest, and that shall change our society, its ethics, and all interpersonal norms. On the political front, there is heightened nationalism. Are countries going to trust each other? Is there growing interdependence, or is there growing isolationism? Never before were innovation and technology so relevant to our lives. Is it now going to remain focused on healthcare for the next 2 decades while we struggle to emerge from the after effects of the pandemic? The pathogen taught us to come out of the state of denial, where we thought constant damage to the environment was not going to change our lives for the next few generations. Today, there is a completely new focus on sustainability, but will this focus remain? All these questions and plausible answers are critical to contextualize the future of healthcare systems. The lesson to humankind is clear that health is intrinsically more important than everything else for now. We also understand that on the healthcare front, strengthening emergency preparedness and risk management is key to addressing the health risks posed by emerging diseases and for progress towards sustainable development goals. While we all understand that therapeutics, diagnostics and vaccines for the whole world was the only way out of this pandemic, we never realized how global collaboration was paramount for this. We have also in the last 1 year realized how governments, industry and philanthropy must pool resources to pay for the risk, the research, manufacturing and distribution, but with the condition that the rewards should be available to everyone, regardless of where they have been developed. To begin with, it has helped nations realize the importance of long-term investments in the healthcare system. Countries have now begun investing in new medical facilities and infrastructure. Now, healthcare cannot continue to be managed as a cost, but it needs to be approached as an investment. Secondly, another effect of the pandemic has been the rapid expansion of telemedicine facilities. Thirdly, the healthcare and industry is in the midst of a digital transformation and the technology giants want to rush in. The pandemic has given rise to innumerable health startups. Lastly, the pandemic has also helped us realize that the healthcare industry, policy makers and tech companies have to work together in order to have a comprehensive security net against such unprecedented medical emergencies. I am happy to report that India has been one of the most successful countries in handling the pandemic. The positive developments taking place in our country are a result of the strong political will exhibited by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. India took early and swift decisions as part of its containment strategies to mitigate the virus. Stringent measures that were well implemented, coupled with exceptional cooperation from the citizens, helped us to maintain one of the lowest case fatality rates in the world throughout the pandemic. Friends, healthcare is an important responsibility of any government, and I feel very proud to highlight here that recently on 16th of January, India has launched the world's largest vaccination campaign, and we have developed 2 COVID-19 vaccines indigenously. Not only that, many more vaccines are also progressing at a rapid pace. This is a shining proof of India's strength, India's scientific proficiency, and India's talent. I am also happy to inform that we have been able to supply this vaccine to several countries in the past few days. Covishield vaccine will also be supplied by Serum Institute to Saudi Arabia. Today, I also want to assure you from this platform that the pace of progress in India will continue on an upward trajectory. We are taking every decision possible for the development of our country. Our policies are unambiguous and the goal is fixed. We are improving not only the ease of doing business, but also the ease of living. I invite you and the businesses from all over the world to partner with India in this journey of global welfare. Today has been a great honor for me. Dear friends, I thank you very much for this great opportunity and offer my heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency Yasser Al Rumyan, Chairman, Future Investment Initiative Institute. Thank you very much. Shukran Jazilan.